The following is a rebroadcast of tonight's 10 p.m. 13 Eyewitness News. From Houston's news leader, this is 13 Eyewitness News Tonight.
And we begin with breaking news tonight, a major development in the disappearance of Baylor University basketball player Patrick Dennehy. And good evening, friends. I'm Dave Ward.
And I am Gina Gaston. Less than 2 hours ago, Maryland police arrested Carlton Dotson for the murder of missing Baylor basketball player Patrick Dennehy. The Dallas Morning News reports that Dotson confessed to FBI agents in Maryland that he killed Patrick Dennehy, his former roommate. However, Dotson denies making a confession. Investigators are trying to determine when and how that killing occurred. So far, Dennehy's body has not been found. An affidavit from a police informant claims Dotson confessed to killing Dennehy while the two were shooting guns near Waco. Again, police have arrested and charged Carlton Dotson with murdering missing Baylor basketball player Patrick Dennehy. We'll keep monitoring this story and bring you new information as it becomes available.
Houston police investigating a roadway shootout tonight, a moving gunfight that happened as two vehicles sped through a southeast Houston neighborhood. That wild ride ended in a huge crash. Eyewitness News reporter Ted Oberg is live at the scene with the latest. Ted?
Dave, if I hadn't seen all the bullet holes in cars and businesses all over here, I'm not certain I would believe what I'm hearing. These were two cars. You can see this red truck behind me and this Ford Taurus right here. The bullet holes begin here. 1, 2, work your way back. 3, 2 in the rear windshield, probably a whole lot more. I want to show you even more. Come look at this. At the front headrest here, 4 bullet holes in the headrest alone, 3 in the seat, and casings all over here, but no one died. Take a look at what happened just after we arrived here, what the scene looked like, probably about 8 o'clock tonight. This truck and the car had been racing south on Navigation, shooting at one another. Then they turned around at about 75th Street and came north on Navigation, continuing to shoot at one another, and finally ending up here at the corner of 70th and Navigation. Neighbors nearby heard more than 24 shots.
I heard the shots. I thought it was backfire, but it wasn't. When I saw this car, it was going so fast, then I saw the red pickup. I must have heard around about 20 rounds shooting each other. And then when I was cutting grass, I stood up because I can see from my house to the Navigation, and I saw both vehicles going so fast, and then I saw the other one. And then when I saw the other one and something like that, I heard a loud bang.
That bang was these two cars crashing into one another. The one thing I want to show you here as we wrap up is that this car has a baby seat. Bullet holes and baby seats, not a great mix. The red pickup truck has a baby seat as well. Luckily, none of the babies were in the car. 2 men in each car. They ran. As soon as this accident happened, they caught one. He is at Ben Taub with a stomach wound. They don't know where the other 3 are. Live in Southeast Houston, Ted Oberg, 13 Eyewitness News.
An emotional night for friends and families of 4 young victims who were found dead, shot multiple times. 2 had also been struck in the head. Well, tonight, dozens gathered outside the Clear Lake home where the bodies were found for a candlelight vigil. And that's where we find Eyewitness News reporter Jessica Willey. Jessica?
Well, Gina, the vigil lasted about 45 minutes. What's left now, the growing bundle of flowers, cards, and even candles. Those who have made the trip here where the 4 were murdered Friday tell me they just want to pay their respects.
Former classmates and teachers, friends and family all gathered tonight. The driveway to the home where the 4 young people were murdered Friday was full. The faces told you why.
We're here for all 4 victims, not just one, everyone.
Rachel Colarotis, her best friend Tiffany Rowell, Tiffany's boyfriend Marcus Priscilla, and his cousin Adelbert Sanchez. All victims of a crime no one here can quite comprehend.
Just like, of all people, you know, it's always the best ones. He was never mean to anyone. He just was nice to everyone.
He didn't have an enemy.
He just trusted everyone, wanted to be friends with everyone. And these bad things aren't true.
You're your mother's joy, your father's dreams. We can't let them win.
Despite the pain, Marcus's aunt tried to inspire. It would be the first time his relatives spoke publicly. They're leaning on faith, friends, and family to get through.
You wasn't supposed to marry my nephew.
But we'll be there. We're going to be strong.
Also tonight, another private vigil at Adelbert Sanchez's house. Earlier today, the medical examiner released preliminary autopsy results. Manner of death for all 4: homicide, cause of death, either gunshot wounds or blunt force trauma to the head. Police, meantime, still say they have no suspects and no motive. Meantime, relatives and family members of all of these victims urge anyone with any information to call Houston Police or Crime Stoppers. Reporting live from Clear Lake, Jessica Willey, 13 Eyewitness News.
Houston Police increasing night patrols near Southwest Houston convenience stores. Extra manpower follows a series of violent robberies in the area. Last week, one clerk was pistol whipped, and then on Sunday, in a separate incident, another clerk was murdered. Today, the department trying to link the recent violence to a pair of suspects. Houston Police say it appears the same 2 guys may be responsible for at least 3 recent robberies in Southwest Houston.
HISD is replacing some of the hundreds of potentially dangerous buses from its bus fleet. It is a story 13 Undercover first brought to you last month. Today, HISD trustees unanimously voted to pay $5.3 million for 87 new buses. These vehicles will replace some of the 540 Carpenter buses the district pulled out of service due to safety concerns. 13 Undercover was the first to find safety problems with HISD's Carpenter buses.
Houston firefighters battled a 3-alarm blaze on the north side late this afternoon. At one point, the heat was so intense the firefighters were pulled out of the complex. In all, 16 families from the Regency Crossing apartments in North Houston lost their homes. 1 firefighter was injured. Eyewitness News reporter Ted Oberg has the story of a man who is being called a hero.
Under all that smoke and all that fire are 16 burning apartments. And on the corner, on the first floor, is Sandra Gardner's place.
I lived here 15 years. I always thought that when a fire started, it'd be someone else's house. It wouldn't be mine.
But it was, and she doesn't have much left.
Nothing. It's all gone.
She and 15 of her neighbors really couldn't do much while this fire burned. It burned so hot and spread so quickly that even firefighters had to get out of the inside and fight the fire from the parking lot. One of the firefighters was taken to the hospital with a minor burn. The others just couldn't do much.
I just came around the corner, the place was on fire.
Juan Diaz was working at the complex when it all started a little before 3. Some neighbors were already carrying things out of their burning apartments once he got there, but some were still inside. And when he found that out, Juan Diaz started kicking doors down. He found one man asleep just feet from the fire.
He started grabbing a lot of his stuff. I go, no, you gotta go. It's on the other side of the wall.
In another nearby apartment, he kicked in a window to help another woman out, and she didn't want to go.
Because she didn't have any insurance, she wanted to get her stuff out of the building. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see somebody suffer like that.
As the fire simmered, there was plenty of suffering. Men and women, mothers and babies, new residents and old. A group who this morning may not have had much in common, but by the night shared a massive loss and an unease about what to do next. In North Houston, Ted Oberg, 13 Eyewitness News.
Number of U.S. deaths in post-war Iraq hit 95 today after an ambush near Baghdad. Roadside bomb exploded near a U.S. military convoy this morning. The blast killed an American soldier assigned to the 1st Armored Division and his Iraqi interpreter. 3 other soldiers were wounded in the attack. An Iraqi bystander is credited with saving 1 wounded soldier.
And more U.S. Marines were on the ground in Liberia today after a bloody civil war reached the American embassy in Monrovia. The Marines helped evacuate embassy personnel today. This as fighting between rival forces ended with at least 60 people dead. A mortar round landed in the U.S. Embassy compound, but no one was injured. The president also ordered 4,500 Marines into positions closer to Liberia, just in case they're needed.
Damage estimates left behind from Hurricane Claudette are mounting in Galveston. Latest figures show private property and beach erosion total about $4 million in damage. You can add another $500,000 for public property such as streets and roads. Today, Galveston City Council voted to extend the emergency disaster declaration. That gives victims more time to get their affairs in order before seeking federal funding assistance from FEMA.
Well, earlier today, there looked like another system was developing in the tropics.
Chief Meteorologist Tim Heller joining us now with an eye on the Gulf. Tim.
And for a while today, we were looking at that tropical depression, thinking that there was a possibility it could become Tropical Storm Erica. But some good news. Hurricane hunters flying into the storm system earlier today failed to find any kind of closed circulation. As a matter of fact, as you watch the time lapse over the past 12 hours, you'll see the wave lose any kind of organized activity. And earlier today, the Hurricane Center downgrading it to a tropical wave. But that little wave will move from the the Lesser Antilles out across the Caribbean where the water temperatures are warm. I could tell you initially the system's going to run into a lot of wind shear, which should initially keep it from redeveloping. But of course, with that energy moving westward out toward the Gulf, it's something we're going to be monitoring for the next couple of days. Meantime, here at home, heat and humidity, our big weather story right now. Details coming up in your local forecast.
An 8-year-old is found buried in a neighbor's backyard. Ahead tonight, why police believe his mother is behind his murder. Also, Kobe Bryant's accuser is under intense scrutiny. New revelations that may put her credibility on the line. And
the nightmare.
Why a local woman says the city of Houston and Metro is making her a prisoner in her own home.
You're watching ABC 13, Houston's news leader. Live with Dave Ward, Gina Gaston, Marvin Zindler, Tim Heller, and Bob Allen. This is 13 Eyewitness News, Houston's news leader.
You know, certain times of the year, it's just a perfect time to save money on a new car or truck. And this is one of them right now. Hey, folks, Tile Park here at Ron Carter and Alvin. All fours are in production. Many of them are starting to arrive. And during our summer sell down, we're selling down the inventory to make room. It's a great time for you with tremendous factory incentives, low interest rates, our huge discounts, not to mention our huge selection. If you're looking for a GMC Envoy or Yukon or Denali, we have rows of these to choose from. You know, you can buy a brand new Chevy Suburban right now during the summer sell down at Ron Carter and Alvin for only $28,997. Proof positive, we give you more. You can buy a brand new Silverado extended cab pickup for $18,500. That's just an example. If you're looking for a two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, long or short wheelbase, regular cab, extended cab, crew cab, the heavy duties, they're all here marked down to move out. Just call toll-free at 1-866-RON-CARTER or log on to roncarter.com, see all of our inventory and even more great ways to save money just south of high prices at Ron Carter in Alvin.
Texans single game tickets go on sale Saturday, July 12th at 10 a.m. at all Ticketmaster locations or by calling 713-629-3700 or visiting Ticketmaster.com. And starting at noon on Saturday, July 12th, pick up your free Texans training camp tickets. Training camp tickets will be available only at Foley's Ticketmaster outlets. Stop by Foley's Memorial City for your tickets and a chance to meet tackle Chester Pitts and putter Chad Stanley. Go Texans!
The elusive Z's. They roam about freely, yet by staying just out of reach, they remain incredibly tough to catch, unless you have the right mattress. To catch some Z's, find your mattress at the Mattress Giant Better Sleep Sale, the selection and savings you crave.
There are a number of ways people can conserve water, and they all start with you. Following a few simple steps a day, such as watering your lawn in the morning or checking your home for leaks, can really add up. For more information, call the City of Houston Water Conservation Branch. With discipline, planning, and awareness, we can all start to make a difference. Water conservation is just another way to make Houston a better community.
A message from our partner, the Dr. Pepper Bottling Company of Texas.
A Pennsylvania mother and her boyfriend are accused of killing the woman's son and then burying him in a neighbor's backyard. Police found 8-year-old Onyx Daw buried in a 2-foot grave in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania over the weekend. Police were led to that area after the boy's grandmother found a picture with what police say is a message from Daw's mother. It included an apology for the boy's death. Authorities say he was severely abused. They believe that some of his skin was burned off. That couple now faces charges ranging from homicide to endangering a child.
Fans of salsa legend Celia Cruz gathering with heavy hearts to say their final goodbyes. Crowds waited for hours today to get inside the Manhattan funeral home that's holding a public viewing. Tomorrow, a horse-drawn carriage will carry Cruz's body through Manhattan to a funeral mass. A private burial will follow. 78-year-old entertainer died Wednesday from a brain tumor.
New revelations tonight could have an impact on the credibility of the woman who launched a rape accusation against LA star Kobe Bryant. The Orange County Register quotes her friends who say that 2 months before the alleged rape, the 19-year-old overdosed on prescription medication. They say she was upset that her high school sweetheart was dating another woman and that a close friend had died in a car accident. District Attorney Mark Herbert refused to comment on the report, but said,
as far as the victim in this case, she's a strong girl,
and I have confidence in her.
The DA says he has good physical evidence to back up her claim. However, experts say rape is a very tough crime to prove.
City of Houston and Metro being sued by a disabled woman who says they have practically made her a prisoner inside her own home. Kristen Jones was left a quadriplegic after a swimming pool accident. She lives between Alabama and Richmond Avenue, uses a motorized wheelchair, but she says that's become nearly impossible because the city and Metro are making changes on those streets to accommodate the upcoming closing of Spur 527 into downtown.
It's a nightmare. Sometimes it's almost impossible because the streets, the sidewalks aren't completely accessible. There may be areas where there's not even a sidewalk there or a curb cut. There's areas where the sidewalk is elevated so much that I can't get my wheelchair over it.
Well, Jones wants the street improvements and changes to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act. Both the city and Metro declined comment, saying the issue involves a pending lawsuit.
In Clear Lake Shores, there is a battle brewing between the owners of a $300,000 home and City Hall. The issue, a 4-foot encroachment. That home was built some 29 feet from the street, but a city ordinance says it should be 33 feet. Fixing that problem would cost the homeowners another $90,000. Now, the builder admits his mistake, but points to a city inspector who approved it. County court ruled in the city's favor, but that decision is now being appealed.
Now we'll get the complete forecast. Let's go back to Tim Heller.
Well, I hope the air conditioner is running well because you're going to need it the next couple of days. The heat index this afternoon is up to about 105. That's what it'll feel like again tomorrow, although the air temperatures in the mid-90s are bad enough. It's the humidity. It's really taking its toll on us. Mid-70s for an overnight low tonight. We don't cool off much. And then tomorrow afternoon, temperatures soar, mid-90s. But again, this only tells part of the story. About 105 is what it feels like in the shade. If you're going to be standing in the sun tomorrow, working in the sun, playing in the sun, it'll feel another 15 degrees hotter than that. So it's going to be a day that you're going to want to seek the shade tomorrow afternoon, drink plenty of water, and just slow it down. We bring the numbers down a little bit here toward the end of the week. Let's check the skies out there tonight. We'll go down to Galveston. Seas tonight are going to be running about 2 to 4 feet with a very light wind out there. Skies right now mostly clear. The temperatures at 10 o'clock. Right now at Bush Intercontinental, 87, 83 at Hobby, and 84 in Galveston tonight. Humidity's running at 65%, dew points in the mid-70s, and there's your light south wind providing minimal relief tonight, blowing at only 6 miles an hour. Hardly a cloud in the sky earlier this afternoon. Certainly no rainfall out of the clouds, but off to the north of us, some explosive thunderstorms. Yesterday, the action was in the Midwest. Today, the action is in the Tennessee Valley and the Ohio Valley because of the slope of the jet stream coming from the northwest to the southeast, shoving that colder air down to the south, interacting with the moisture, creating volatile weather conditions there. I pointed out because the same slope of the jet stream will help drive a front our way. In fact, it's the front that's kicking off the storms tonight across Kansas and parts of the Tennessee Valley. Tomorrow, the front's a little bit closer. It'll be knocking on the doors of North Texas, producing some strong thunderstorms in the mid-Mississippi Valley. Now, the cool air behind it actually gets shoved off to the east, but we're going to bring our temperatures down a few degrees, mainly because of thicker clouds that we'll have in the sky and hopefully a little bit of rain out of it. That'll bring our temperatures down in the low 90s. It's only a couple of degrees, but it's the best we can do here for mid-July. Here's what's going to happen. The future track with the time at the top of the screen shows our skies clear out there tonight, but it looks like at the overnight we'll probably keep it partly cloudy with maybe a few clouds drifting in from showers off to our east. There's the front at the top of your TV screen. It comes in by 7 o'clock in the evening into North Texas. Strong thunderstorms there. Our day for rain will be Wednesday. Tomorrow around here, plenty of sunshine, plenty of heat and humidity. Mid-90s here. They'll be pushing triple digits again out across West Texas. Luckily for North Texas, and into 100 degrees again today. They'll be cooling down because of the rain. And then we cool it down a few degrees. Low 90s for Wednesday and Thursday. Rain chances highest on Wednesday. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, a few scattered showers, mainly the afternoon variety. I know 95 to 92 is not a big deal, but 3 degrees will help somewhat.
Hey, every degree helps.
That's right.
Okay, thanks, Tim. Well, up next, a real blast from the past.
Would you believe it's been 30 years since the infamous Best Little Whorehouse in Texas was shut down? Marvin Zindler separates the fact from the fiction.
Hi there. Hi there. 2 adults, 2 kids? You got it. That's $48. All righty. Oh, now we're up to $54. Right. $59. What?
Okay, now we're at 65. 65.
Well, how can it just go up like that?
I know.
Hang on.
$85. Yeah.
You have a credit card?
I don't think. $100.
What?
Okay, 120.
I got it.
Steve. Wow, 150.
Here, just take it all.
Is this what it feels like paying your Reliant electric bill?
Enjoy the game.
They've increased the rate 3 times in the last 18 months. And when the rate goes up, the whole bill goes up. Introducing Energy America, part of a company with nearly 1 million customers in Texas. With our guaranteed rate plan, your rate won't go up for the next year. This year, current customers will save an average of $200 over Reliant.
$36, please. I do it. $42 hot dogs here.
Call or visit us online. Switch now and get a free $25 gift card to the Home Depot.
$700. Who needs a hot dog?
Were you injured on the job? Workers' compensation benefits are not automatic. Is the company doctor working for you or the company? Attorney Waverly Nolly is a smart lawyer who will fight for your rights following an on-the-job injury, auto accident, wrong pharmacy prescription, nursing home neglect, medical malpractice, and other injuries. Know your rights. Call the law offices of Waverly Nolly right now at 713-880-2255. Call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at 713-880-2255.
Where you're going, you'll need stuff like this. And if you expect to graduate in 4 years, you'll need this. Call now and you'll get a PC that works hard and plays hard when you upgrade to a compact Presario with Intel Pentium 4 processor plus monitor and HP color printer. For only $499 after rebates, you'll email photos, play games, listen to music, and oh yeah, do schoolwork. Call today and get free shipping and compact notebooks from $729. When it really matters, choose compact.
Everything is on sale at Mack Height Chevrolet. Every car, every truck, every SUV. Not just one only or two to choose, but every new Chevy at Mack Height is sale price to go. Cavaliers at $89.88. Silverados at $11,988. Malibus at $11,988. Trailblazers at $19,988. And Suburbans discounted up to $12,000. That's why Mack Height is the #1 SUV dealer in the world. Mack Height Chevrolet. I-10 west of Beltway 8, where you get that great Mack Height feeling.
Well, it was 30 years ago this month that we first heard those immortal words, Texas has a whorehouse in it.
All this week, the man who shut down that Texas legend and still sits next to us every day gives us the lowdown on what really happened back then.
All this week, I'm going to separate fact from Broadway and Hollywood fiction. Let's start at the very beginning of the end of the most notorious bawdy house in Texas.
Don't touch that dial.
Texas has a whorehouse in it. Lord have mercy on our soul. Action 13 received an anonymous complaint about 2 alleged houses of prostitution. The complainant said the houses were operating openly in our neighboring towns of Sealy and LaGrange. The LaGrange Chicken Ranch is gone, but the story is far from finished. What an understatement I made 30 years ago. Yes, it's been 30 years since the infamous Chicken Ranch closed and found its way into Texas legend Broadway and the movies. Despite the Hollywood hoopla and Broadway ballyhoo, the best little whorehouse in Texas was not just a piddly, squat country place. There was plenty going on: illegal prostitution, criminal activities, and intelligent reports of organized crime. And here's the very first story of what we call the bawdy house. Action 13 received an anonymous complaint about 2 alleged houses of prostitution. The complainant said the houses were operating openly in our neighboring towns of Sealy and LaGrange. It's illegal to operate a house of prostitution in Texas, and past history shows they cannot function without someone in authority protecting them. I asked Eyewitness News correspondent Larry Connors to check out the report.
Marvin, we started by getting a small van with curtains so we could conceal Eyewitness News photographer Frank Ambrose. Ambrose, a third person, and I went first to the Sealy location. What looks to be nothing more than an abandoned motel is a house of prostitution. We returned later at midnight, but I can state as a fact that prostitutes are working here.
Then drove down County Gravel Road 130 and around the bend just outside LaGrange in Fayette County to the notorious Chicken Ranch, which had been operating for 129 years in flagrant violation of Texas law.
It's not so much into the house of prostitution which operates down here, but as to how long it has operated, why it has been able to operate so long, and who all is involved in keeping it operating. Ambrose stayed in the van as the third member of our party, and I went inside. I was carrying a small still camera in my coat pocket. I was getting what pictures I could inside while Ambrose filmed customers. Nearly 3 dozen came and went in a little over an hour. That's when we left and went back to the Sealy location. The next day, photographer Rick Armstrong and I returned to the LaGrange site.
Tomorrow, meet the real madam of the Chicken Ranch, Miss Edna Milton, and come face to face with the real sheriff himself, the late T.J. Flournoy. That as we look back at the 30-year anniversary of the Chicken Ranch, and remember...
Don't touch that dial!
Marvin Zendler, Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Marvin. Seems like only yesterday. The Texans report to camp Friday. They're close to signing their first-round pick.
And the Astros start a short series in Pittsburgh looking to stay hot at the plate. We'll fill you in on how they did.
Enjoy a family vacation in a Terry Vaughn RV. Camping together creates lasting memories. Terry Vaughn RVs has over 200 new and used RVs on sale.
My dad's company is making deals your family will enjoy.
Terry Vaughn sale prices are the easiest on your budget. That makes a happy camper.
We have sale prices you can't beat.
Come enjoy the Terry Vaughn sale in Houston, Alvin, and Spring.
Why pay the difference when you can't tell the difference? Hey folks, Tom Parker, Ron Carter, and Alvin. Now, Ron Carter Chrysler Jeep, we just made a special purchase of 2003 Dodge Intrepid SEs. Incredibly equipped. You can compare these at $24,000. Our price from $13,995. You get a 7-year, 70,000-mile warranty. You can finance with 0% and get a 3-year, 500-mile money-back guarantee. And there are rows to choose from. At Ron Carter Ford, we made a special purchase of 2003 Ford Taurus LXs. Again, incredibly equipped compared to $24,000 new. Our price only $13,995, and again a 7-year, 70,000-mile warranty, finance with 0%, and a 3-day or 500-mile money-back guarantee. That's why we say, why pay the difference when you can't tell the difference? Just give us a call toll-free at 1-866-RON-CARTER or check it out online anytime at roncarter.com, and then make the short drive just south of high prices for the best selection and the lowest price at Ron Carter in Alvin.
Save up to 80% by buying Factory Direct. The Jewelry Source is a direct diamond importer and manufactures their jewelry direct. The Jewelry Source has thousands of diamonds and semi-mounts and guarantees the lowest price. The Jewelry Source's 1-carat platinum bands are $1,400. 1-carat 3-stone rings are $899. 3/4-carat bracelets are $149. 3-stone pendants are $99. And 1-carat studs are $399. You can't beat our deals. Buy Factory Direct and save. The Jewelry Source in Houston.
It's teamwork. It's strength.
It's courage. It's the power of girls together. Join Girl Scouts today. Call 1-800-GS-USA for you.
See what's going on with our Astros.
Let's do. Here's Bob Allen.
All right, guys. First place Astros opening in Pittsburgh for 2 games before heading to Milwaukee for 2 more. Coming in, they had a 5-game winning streak going. Tim Redigo, roughed up, only going 2 1/3 innings, gave up 3 runs in the first inning alone. Down 4-1 in the third. Matt Stairs takes Redding out of PNC Park. In fact, it rolls right into the Allegheny River. 5-1 Pirates, kerplunk. Jeff Bagwell gets his 21st home run. 3rd in 2 days, number 401 on his career in the 6th inning. 5-2 Pirates. Next up, Jeff Kent with a homer to left field. It's the 8th time the Astros go back-to-back, but the 5-game winning streak is over. Astros lose tonight. 5-3 is the final. Cardinals and the Padres. Cardinals ace Matt Morris gets hit in the hand with a Mark Kotsay liner, and he would try to stay in the game, but his control wasn't there, and man, that hurt. Look when he throws the practice pitch. Time to leave. Cardinals lead it 3-2 in the 4th inning. The Houston Texans getting ready to crank up this Friday when the players report to training camp here in Houston. Their first workout will be Saturday. And as is the case, usually before camp opens, the Texans are working to get all their draft choices signed in time. And the first-round draft choice is the most important to get done because the others usually agree shortly thereafter. Eyewitness Sports has learned that negotiations with first-round draft choice receiver Andre Johnson out of Miami are pretty close to being done. According to sources close to the talks, there are one or two minor issues like certain bonuses to get worked out. Look for the official announcement of Johnson getting signed to come possibly as soon as tomorrow, maybe the next day. Second round draft choice tight end Benny Joppru not close to being signed at this point, but there's not a lot of concern right now because there's still about 3 days left before they report to camp. When we come back, Lance had fallen, but he did get up.
I want an investment that is guaranteed to stay ahead of inflation, but that's safe and will let me get started with as little as $50.
Like the I-bond.
Right.
KTRK is an equal opportunity employer which seeks to disseminate information about job openings to the broadest range of people. Any organization providing employment information or referrals may ask to receive our job listings. For information, please write P.O. Box 13, Houston 77001, or call 713-666-0713.
Wouldn't it be great if you had your own personal pit crew? You'd never have to worry about anything going wrong with your car.
Let's check out that transmission, guys.
Don't have a personal pit crew? Take your car to Cotman Transmission.
They'll repair your car right the first time
and get you back on the road fast
with a nationwide warranty.
Cotman Transmission. Because nobody knows more about transmissions.
Hey, Jeff, I need to make another pit stop.
I got hurt bad in my truck wreck. Then I called Jim Adler. He got me a $71,000 settlement.
This car wrecked earning an $80,000 settlement.
I'm Jim Adler, the Texas Hammer. When you're hurt in a car or truck wreck, you need your money for your medical bills, your lost wages, and your car. Call me right now.
Jim Adler turned this wreck into a $100,000 settlement.
He got me a $60,000 settlement.
Over $298,000 for my case.
That's a lot of money for a lot of people. Let me help you get the money you deserve. Call me right now.
Call 713-777-4000 now.
We used to write letters to each other a lot, and it was intimidating to talk to him sometimes because he just seemed so isolated by himself.
She started talking about how she wishes that her life was over and she wishes that she was never born.
So I knew he had depression, but I didn't know it was that far.
Said something to me about killing himself.
Tell somebody, tell an adult, a counselor, parent, whatever.
You have to try and help them get help.
You have to take it seriously. You can't assume that they're just saying it because the risk is too great.
It's a hard situation because you do risk making that person very angry and losing their friendship.
It would have been horrible for me if she never talked to me again, but I'd live with it because I know she'd be alive.
Definitely worth getting help, even if you think you're going to lose a friendship, because it's better to lose the friendship than the actual friend.
Stage 15 of the Tour de France today saw Austin's Lance Armstrong increase his lead after he fell from his bike with about 6 miles left in the 99-mile stage.
Armstrong was waiting for somebody to pull in the flag, and now it was even.
Oh, he's gone down.
He must have hit somebody in the audience.
Armstrong slammed to the road after a spectator's outstretched bag caught his handlebars. His left elbow was grazed, as was his left hip, and the left shoulder of his yellow jersey was dirtied when the spill occurred. After falling, Armstrong got right back on his bike and got back into the race, and that wasn't all. He nearly fell again when his right foot slipped out of his pedal. In a show of good sportsmanship, second-place rider Jan Ullrich waited for Armstrong to get back up before he resumed riding again. It was in 2001 that Ullrich crashed, and Armstrong told the other riders they can't race till he gets back up. Armstrong crossed the finish line 40 seconds ahead of Ullrich, winning his first stage of the Tour, and now leads Ullrich by 67 seconds. He led by 15 seconds at the start of the day. Armstrong's chances now very good of winning his fifth straight Tour de France when the race concludes on Sunday. Tomorrow is a rest day.
We got back pretty fast, so I figured they waited, which is it's very nice. You know, I mean, maybe that was Jan's payback for waiting. You know, for me waiting for him a few years ago when he went off on the Pterosaur, and so I appreciate that, and it's just an epic day.
All right, one final item. Richard Hidalgo of the Astros named the National League Player of the Week. That's sports.
Oh, good for him. Good. Thanks, Bob. And before we go tonight, crowds are lining up near the U.S. Capitol, not to see the politicians, but to get a look at the world's biggest flower. It's known as the Titan arum, a rare plant from the jungles of Sumatra, now growing in the U.S. Botanic Garden that's right at the foot of Capitol Hill. Has a central column more than 4 feet tall, and it is still growing. They thought it would show its glory last Thursday. It didn't. Horticulturists said it would bloom yesterday. It didn't. Now they say sometime tonight or tomorrow, they hope. Stay tuned.
Looking forward to seeing that. That is our report for tonight. Be sure to stay tuned for Nightline and join Tom Cook and Cheryl Keck for Eyewitness News at 5 a.m.
For Gina Gaston, Bob Allen, Tim Heller, and Marvin Zindler, I'm Dave Ward.